All right, so I cleaned off my brush. It's ready to start on the feathers. So the Eastern Screech Owl has pretty consistent feather coloration all throughout. It has off-whites, grays, blacks, and browns. Looking at the reference photo I included in this is going to be super helpful. But Eastern Screech Owls, they have natural variation in their colors. You might have one with a little bit more brown in their feathers, a little bit more gray or whites. We're doing a gray phase Eastern Screech Owl, so we're really focusing on just the gray colors, not too much brown. If you wanted to do a red phase Screech Owl, then you would be using much more brown and adding in maybe just a little bit of red to give it this warm tone, but I suggest sticking with the Eastern Screech Owl since that's what I will, or the gray phase, excuse me, of the Eastern Screech Owl to make it really consistent. So let's see here. I'm gonna start with our eyebrow feathers. So this V shape coming up, it's pretty white on most of these guys. So I'm gonna start with an off-white, blending in a little bit of that chocolate brown that we probably still have left over on our palette from doing the branch. So I'm gonna take my brush and just do light feathery strokes up into the ear tufts, and this is when I'm gonna kind of make mine go up a little bit more than what I did in my drawing. So up, and it's okay if it gets onto the blue, and if it's feathery, that's great because that's what we're going for. We're painting feathers. So I like to use the very tip of my brush to really get light, delicate, feathery strokes to this. And you can also add in more white, and we're building up the layers as we go. There's lots of layers of feathers on these guys that have all different colors, so we're building layers of feathers with layers of paint. And remember, if your brush gets bogged down with too much paint and you're not really getting points, then you're going to want to clean your brush off. It's very important. Right. So, and then you can just start mixing in darker colors, but making sure that this section stays mostly that lighter color. You can add in a little bit of brown, then cover it up a smidge with the white, building those layers. And then for connecting to the beak, you're gonna want a clean brush for this. We're gonna be going down, relatively clean, excuse me. And you want it also to be a little bit dry so you can kind of see the brush bristles. So you wanna go down a little bit, kind of like the feathers are covering that very top of the beak. There we go. That looks good. There we go. All right, thickening that up, going up into the forehead a little bit. That's a nice ear tuft. All right, thicken that up. And you see, as I do more strokes, it kind of blends in, gets kind of one-dimensional, which is why I like to do very short flicking motions to keep it from mixing too much. If you do mix too much, that's when you just go in and add a different color, add in a little bit more paint. And really use all sides of your brush. Guarantee there's more paint on the other side that you can make good use of. Waste not, want not, right? Really get that in there. There we go. Want a little bit more of the off-white on top, and then I think I'm going to move on to the forehead. And honestly, with the layers, you could do this for a nice long time because it's just adding little bits of paint, and you can always, if you don't like it, you can always cover it up and do it all over again. But it's rather just taking a break, taking a step back. Do you like how it looks? Okay. Do you see a section that you think looks a little bit inconsistent? You want to change it? Okay, go on and add some more paint. And do I like those ear tufts? I think so. Alrighty. Also, we're doing this nice flicking motion with our wrist, keeping it loose. Have a nice flow to the feathers. You can do different lengths, different brush length strokes for shorter or longer feathers. Alrighty. Okay,